of council for the month of April. At this time, I'd like to call, if we could all stand, call on Sean for our invocation, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Almighty God, thank you, Heavenly Father, for the opportunity to come out tonight, do the town's business. We just thank you for the town council members and their dedication to serve our little town. And thank you for those that will be recognized later this evening. And just bless them as they go on with their lives and in the future. And we just thank you for everything that you've done for us. Forgive us for where we fail you. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now down to the editing for business not on the agenda. Does any council member have anything to add this evening? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make the motion.
Deanna made the motion. Who seconded?
I'll second.
Liza second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Also, I hope everyone had a chance to review our minutes from the March 13th regular council meeting. Everyone had a chance to do that? Is there a motion to approve the minutes for the March council meeting? So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we're down to our accounts payable. Mr. Shorter, are these additions up here?
Yes,
Or
sir.
is this the sheet that's laying here?
Yeah, sheet B, and the additions.
Oh, okay, section B. We yield to the chair of the finance committee at this time.
Mayor, I move to approve the March accounts payable along with the additions presented.
Motion to pay the bills. Is there a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I do have one question on that, Mayor.
It's too late.
Well, I can address it with the town manager later.
Just kidding, you go ahead.
It's just about sales tax. Drew, on purchase order number 39100, equipment and specialist supplies. Water. It's under Miss Diane's. 39100, they charge the sales tax on that purchase. Just make sure they give us a credit back on that. Yes, sir. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Okay, in accordance with our code and charter, as advertised, at this time I'll call a joint committee meeting between the Lebanon Town Council and our Planning Commission to consider an application presented by Mr. Gregory Conaway. Ms. Lockridge, you're the vice chairman.
Yes.
And we have a quorum of the planning commission.
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay. So at this time, we'll turn it over to our planning commission. Ms. Lockridge.
Okay. Ms. Natalie, can you read the submitted application?
Yes, ma'am. An application submitted by Gregory H. Conway for conditional use permit for an automobile sales dealership located at 307 West Main Street in a C1 commercial district.
Is Greg Conway or a representative present to speak in support of the application?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Just come up here, speak.
Conway, come up front.
Yes.
You guys have a copy of what I've got here? Stand up here.
I guess just to tell you a little bit about myself, my name's Greg Conway. It's an honor to be here and have the opportunity to speak to you about this permit for the automobile dealership. Just tell you a little bit more about myself. I've been married for 17 years. My wife Kayla back there. We've got 2 kids, a 13-year-old daughter Camry and a 6-year-old son Carter. And my background, I've been employed for 17 years at a local, reputable Chevrolet Buick Cadillac dealership, where I've sold for almost 12 years, and I was the sales manager for almost 6 years. So I've got a little bit of background there. I did anywhere from doing the appraising on the trade-ins to buying the used inventory online and at the in-person auctions, helped with the finance department, any kind of difficult credit situations, worked with my salesmen on all their deals, and held weekly sales meetings along with the other sales manager. We've been looking for a while, looked at several locations. After coming over to Lebanon for the first time, we kind of fell in love with Lebanon and the town, and we visited a lot of the local restaurants and stores and great areas, and we've even started discussing moving here possibly in the future. So we really love the town. Everybody's been really friendly and welcoming, and we do love the town. But we do feel like we could also help as far as the local economy, as far as using some of our local banks for financing, insurance agents when possible. The mechanics, I've already started speaking with some of them about doing some work for me, detailers, print shops, office supplies, advertising in the local newspapers, radio stations. And my customers will also be visiting some of your local businesses like restaurants and just other stores here. Our plans are to hopefully be open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., closed on Sundays. And we plan to gradually build it. It's going to take me a little bit, but gradually build it to 25, 30 plus cars in that parking lot area. But we've also secured, it doesn't look like there's going to be room for that many cars, but we have secured the property beside of there that is Mr. Doug Rasnick's. His back area for parking. He's going to help me get it fixed where it kind of looks like it's all one big spot for parking. He's going to take the grass and we're going to kind of block it and make it look like one big parking lot. So we'll have an area set aside just for customer parking. We'll have our signage up, make it clearly marked where my customers are to park. So that won't be an issue. We're going to consider alternate entrance, and an alternate entrance if possible. We're going to take a look at that. Trying to keep that traffic behind the dealership at a minimum. I know that there's a lot of kids and games and there at the ball field and a lot of different things going on, so we'll try to keep that at a minimum and be safe as possible. I don't plan just to stock old junk cars. We're going to have a lot of quality, nice used vehicles. It's not going to just be a junk parking lot. I plan on having some really nice vehicles to stock. And we want to keep the town looking nice as it does now. We want to add to the town, not take away from the town. But this opportunity, means more to me than I can really put into words. When I do something, I put my whole heart and soul into it, and I plan on doing that, making it successful. We plan on, we feel at home here. Look forward to being given the opportunity to build and grow our business and help the community thrive. That's our goal.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else present that would like to speak in favor of this application? Okay. Is there anyone present who would like to speak opposing the application? Okay. Does anyone on the Planning Commission, which I guess I should introduce our Planning Commission, is J.L. Kegley, David Boyd, I'm Judy Lockridge, and David Coleman. So do you
You
all?
got Deanna Jackson.
Deanna
Drew Short.
Jackson, and Drew Short. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Does anyone on the Planning Commission have any questions regarding the application?
I just have one question. I just want to make sure you're going to have local guys doing the maintenance. You won't be doing any of the maintenance
I'm not a mechanic, so no, I wouldn't be doing anything there. I've met with, I think his name is Mr. Kegley there. He said he's willing to do some work for me. And I'm also gonna try to find another place or two that can, help me maintain and fix any kind of issues that come up. So yes, I do plan on, using some local guys to help.
Okay.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
First of all, I have a follow-up question, and related to that. First of all, welcome to
Thank you.
Lebanon.
Appreciate it.
Good presentation. Glad to hear you not become another citizen of our town.
Honestly, we love the town.
Love to have you.
Yeah.
Is your plan, I may have missed this, are you contemplating buying this property or
Well,
leaving?
as of now, I'm leasing a year at a time. Mr.
Okay.
Jesse is wanting to lease it right now, but my
Okay,
plan is to hopefully buy it. I spoke with Mr. Rasnick possibly about buying his property as well. If I can, get both of them, and business does okay, my plan is to hopefully buy it. Yes.
gotcha. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sorry, Miss.
That's okay. I have a question. I'm assuming that because you're leasing the property that you, of course, the brick building is going to stay where it is.
Correct.
Without a plan of changing it.
Yes, yes.
And the cars then are going to be behind that.
Yeah, my plan is to kind of put one or two in the front area and then, maybe with a balloon or something, just to show that, hey, this is a car dealership, along with the signage, the sign that was, the former business had. I'm gonna put a new sign up, of course, and just put one or two out front, just showing we're a car dealership, and then putting all the rest of those in the back, along with the Mr. Rasnick's property.
So you be doing your business dealing out of the building that's there?
Yes.
That's your,
Yes.
and the maintenance of the site and property is with you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Any more questions?
Yes, will you be solely operating in sales, or is there additional job creation?
It's just gonna be sales. You mean as far as like,
You gonna be the only,
garage?
you gonna be the only salesman, I guess?
No, no, I do plan on hiring, one, possibly two, salespeople as well. And then, soon, I may answer the phone from the beginning, but I'm gonna need a probably receptionist soon. So hopefully we can create a few jobs here.
Thank you.
Good.
Where's it at?
What?
Where's it at?
That's here beside First Bank, right across from the post office. Where Mr. Lawson used to live.
So you'll know where to get your next car.
Or truck.
Or truck, yes you do, whatever you want.
I'm a truck.
All right, do I have a motion from the planning commission to approve the application as it's been read?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Do I have a second? Okay. So all in favor on the planning commission of this motion to approve, raise your hand. Okay. All opposed to this motion? Okay, Mr. Mayor, the
Okay.
Lebanon Planning Commission recommends to approve.
Okay, hang on one second.
Am I ahead?
You're on his schedules, hang on. Procedural. This time we'll close the joint meeting between the town of Lebanon Council and our planning commission. And now, Ms. Lockridge, I will ask for a recommendation.
Okay. The Lebanon Planning Commission's recommendation is to approve this application.
So, we've heard, and we want to thank, by the way, we've got several new members, and thank you for your service to the town. We're looking forward to continuing to work with you. Appreciate your time here on this particular request. So, we've heard the recommendation from our planning commission. What is the pleasure of the council?
We'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, same sign. Congratulations. Welcome to Lebanon.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We'll get going as quick as we can. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Are we excused, Mr. Mayor?
Planning commission, yes, you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you
don't have to
all.
run off though.
Thank you.
Hey, yeah, by the
Thanks,
way,
Dave.
I'll tell Tim how well you did. You'll probably end up in the chair.
Congratulations.
Gladly,
Thank you.
Y'all might want to gather around. If I could have everybody's attention. We have defending state champions in the house. Let's get going. Yes, sir. Okay. We'll just say that. I know she's, did you come home? I'm sorry. No problem. Chris, don't you run off either. Okay? What I'd like to do, so you help me. I'm gonna just read the first one here, but after that, I'm gonna read just the specific name in the category. Will it work? Spring break, yeah. Let's see what you do this. I know the council has probably read, and we heard them come, I did live on Main Street, so I heard y'all come through town on the bus after you all had successfully defended your title. And looking at this crew here, you might be doing this, you may be back next year.
We hope so.
Keep growing.
We
I tell
sure
you
hope
what.
so.
Well, again, first of all, I'd like to let's give our Lebanon High School. So we have a resolution that we're going to present to our young people. And I'm going to read the first one, and after talking to Sarah, after that, I'm going to read the student name in their category, okay? So, here we go. A resolution expressing the consensus of the mayor and town council regarding the accomplishments of Emma Martin, state champion in prose, whereas Lebanon High School won Class 1 VHSL State Forensics Championship. Now therefore it be resolved by the mayor and the town council that Emma Martin be hereby commended in becoming 2023 Virginia High School League Prose Champion. And be it further resolved that Emma be hereby commended for her commitment, her dedication, and success to this 10th day of April 2023. Emma, here? Okay. All right. Caitlin Mullins, state champion in poetry. Would you come forward? Congratulations. You would start the line over there. Sarah, you can come this way.
You can set this back here.
I need to make sure I'm right now. Champion, serious dramatic. Is that correct? Chloe Dillon, state champion, serious dramatic interpretation. Congratulations. Well done. Madison Robinette. State champion in humorous duo. You know, you might want to have, we might need a little humor here tonight. Hang around. Gracie Ford. She's with you?
Yeah.
Our second half.
Her second half. She's state champion in the duo.
Yes.
Humorous duo, okay. Katie Cole, is that correct? State champion is Cole. Hey there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. Let's see, let's get that hand here. I'm going to let it go in here. Carter Dillon. State champion series duo. Every time I see you though, you're carrying on a bunch of stuff. Ellen Salters. Again, serious duo.
Yeah.
Okay. Here. Kendra Horn. Run up and see. Congratulations. Go down on that end. Cheyenne Ball. Runner-up and serious duo. Congratulations. Manny Huffman, runner-up in storytelling. Brianna Potts, runner-up serious dramatic interpretation. Molly Bowen, runner-up in humorous interpretation. Landon Owens, runner-up in extemporaneous speaking. My goodness. Wow. I tell you what. Jill Dixon. Okay. Third place in poetry. Megan Helton. Original oratory. Congratulations. And who's this? Sarah Stoops. For being our coach of the 2023 Virginia High School League State Forensic Team Championship for, well, you're defending champions. Congratulations. Sean, you're gonna have to, let's let all parents get pictures. Can y'all gather up behind council members, please? Okay, and then Sean, you're gonna be able to get this, you gotta let your crew in here.
Okay, I got it right. Okay.
Another round of applause, folks. Don't sit down too long. We'll recognize your name, Chris.
All right.
Look your jacket on.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you, John. See you this time next year, okay? Have a good evening.
You too.
Chris, would you come forward? That's it. Well, I am gonna say that when we're finished here. Okay. We're honored, we Once again received, well, I don't know, once again, yeah, it is again, isn't it? 2022 Gold Achievement for the Office of Drinking Water for the Town of Lebanon's Water Treatment Plant. This is presented annually by the State Office of Drinking Water. So, Drew, explain how important this award is, what this means.
This award itself is for backflow, or backwash efficiency, washing your filters, but the overall total goal, the gold award is basically commending these guys for giving you some of the best drinking water you can have in the state.
Congratulations. Well done. Many thanks.
Last 7 or 8 years in a row, we got a silver 1 year in there, and then probably another 10 years before that.
Get you in the middle. Okay.
We'll get you a frame, Chris.
Yeah, I'll do that to, yeah, we'll stay here. You know all that, bud. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shot, Chris.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Congratulations, Chris.
Good job.
Now though, what you gonna have to wish me?
John, appreciate you, sir.
We'll sit down and
No, I'm good. Oh, yeah.
I was aware they didn't do it.
I got you.
Just take the batteries out of it.
Ms. Diane, do we have any public requests?
You're slacking, Randy.
Hello.
Uh,
I tried to think of something. I had 3 county vehicles about run over me today, but y'all ain't had nothing to do with that.
we're glad it wasn't us. Okay,
How you about it?
let's see. Drew, why don't you come on?
I will say thank y'all for moving that cedar tree out there on the old thing castle, getting it down.
You will. Okay. Okay, Mr. Short.
Yes, sir. Thank you all. First thing I have for the manager report for this month was Shane and I worked more on those turf quotes and the poured-in-place rubber quotes. We actually had the companies come and measure out themselves, and the prices decreased dramatically on that stuff. It's still expensive, but it did decrease quite a bit. I've got your information section of the packet. The breakdown, each individual quote is in here for J.S. Ishley Park and for the town park, but the breakdown is in the front of those 2 tabs. It kind of breaks down turf versus the poured-in-place rubber at each park and the total for that. So the cheapest, and what I was hoping for would be the cheapest anyway, I think the turf really looks good when they presented it. J.S. Ishley was $58,385. The town park was $42,798 for a total of $101,183.96. And Elijah, there's a box there sitting behind you.
I figured I thought the town would be higher than the Eastwood. Of course, is that a bigger area?
Eastwood's a bigger area combined, and it's got the playground, and then you've got 2 swing sets that
Oh,
comes
that's
in.
right, I forgot about that. Okay.
This is the turf that they proposed. This is the padding that goes in the fall zones under the turf. Another reason it was so expensive at first is they priced us putting this all over the playground, but we only need this in the fall zones. So we went back and had them put it just in the fall zone, goes underneath the,
Goes underneath that?
yeah. And then this is the stuff They no longer use the ground up rubber tire stuff anymore. This stuff is called EnviroFill, and that's what they sprinkle in the turf itself. That's a disinfectant and a sun deterrent, blocks the sun from the turf getting so hot.
2 questions right quick.
Yes, sir.
Before I forget them. So this would be like in place, it's not a pour in place.
No, that will be installed. And both of these quotes are our crews doing the prep work for both, turf, whether it's turf or pour in play option.
Does this get rid of all the pellets over at
Get
the
rid of all-
community center?
Gets
I mean,
rid of
over
all
at the
the mulch,
shelters?
and it also includes the swings that are not mulched right now. Those would be turf. Anywhere there's a fall zone, we needed to have a covering on the ground. So everywhere over there that's mulch, plus those swings that sit on the right side, is turf. At JS Easterly, it's the playground area, plus the swings that beside the tennis court, and the little merry-go-round thing we
It's
have.
pretty soft, isn't it? Not too bad a fall, if they fall, is it?
What's the life expectancy on that?
20 years. With
What's
a,
the warranty on
I
that?
think it's an 8-year warranty. I want to say, I read 5 or 8 year, I want to say it's that many, I think it's 8 year on all.
Any idea what we spend on the rubber mulch annually?
I
know it's
I
expensive.
tried to look back and try to find some stuff, but I couldn't see exactly where they replaced all of it.
That
It's
rubber
expensive,
mulch is
Pays
expensive.
$100 a ton.
and it's a mess.
So we probably spend $100
And I think we could reuse it. I've got to get with Rick from Turf Pros. See, Turf Pros, if you look at your quotes, we buy the material from one company and have another company install it. It's not 2 or 2. These are their quotes combined. But I talked to our installer about doing our prep work, and I think we can use that mulch that we have over already and bring levels up to that. So see, we have to use something to bring levels up to that 3.5 inch padding that goes underneath, or 2.5 inch padding. We never use that mulch. So you have to as well.
Yes, sir.
If you're through looking at it. Once again, this has been something that we've talked about for several years, and I learned quite a bit after, I'm hoping the safety side of it grew.
That's the biggest thing.
Before we have our kids over there, I mean, this is, the gentleman that came and visited us, what was his name?
Eddie Shelton.
Eddie Shelton, who's from Versa.
Yes.
It looks like to me this is something we need to do, planning, looking forward, long. I'm surprised, after I saw those first quotes, I'm exceedingly happy with the second round of quotes. It's almost, well, a little bit over half, isn't it?
Yeah, close to that, less than half. The first quote, I think the first turf quote was around 230,000.
Was that for both of them, or just one side?
That was the cheapest quote. There was some in there that I think 200,000 for one side.
That's what I thought.
It was, I think it was the pour in place. But even it came down a little bit to, the pour in place is 154,000 for each place. Town Park was 74, 338. JS Easterly was 80,139.
Now, you said this is disinfectant, right?
Correct.
Is it something we have to put on regularly?
You can, but no, that has, I think it has a life expectancy of 4 or 5 years, but you can also put it on as needed. But it's disinfectant and sun repellent.
Well,
And
what do we have, I guess Drew or Scott, on the finance side, if we did, my question's theoretical here. Do we have funding in this year's budget in Parks and Rec or ARPA or whatever to do one and then plan another one for the 23-24 budget?
Well, my understanding is Beverly's in the process of, for example, updating our ARPA funds.
Okay.
And kind of the allocated funds on that, what's already been spent. I would like to know where we're at specifically on the Parks and Rec, maybe for the Finance Committee meeting, know
Yes.
exactly where we're at year to date, to
Yes.
see if this is a possibility
Okay.
in this budget. But right now, Drew is working with Shane, and I've been working with him also, that the hardest part of this upcoming budget is the theater. Is really, we gotta get together and put our heads together on, some proposed numbers of what the theater, what the expenses are gonna be there. So, so hopefully, by the finance meeting too, we'll have a rough draft of the budget to see where we're at next year as far as, any funds that are available in Parks and Rec, or if the council, if there's funds left over unallocated, if this is one of the projects that the council wants to undertake in next fiscal year, if the funds are not available this year.
Okay. Well, I think it's something that, what do you say, it lasts 20 years? Warranty 8 years?
It says here accommodates sustained use even under environmental stresses, 8-year manufacturer warranty and a 25-year life.
That's pretty good. See how that lasts us. We don't have to worry about it.
And that's, like I said, I think we definitely need to look at it, because it's one of those things where we're just gonna keep piling money of mulch, of chopped up mulch over there to get the padding or get something that's gonna.
Well, I don't like, I often cringe when I'm over there and see the smaller children with all them pellets when they're having a picnic over there in the shelter. Picking it up, wanting to eat it, or, you know what I'm saying? I just like to see us do something, a permanent fix down the road.
Like you said,
If it's doable.
It's gonna be something we've gotta put back in there for that fall protection, for the insurance side of it, so.
Okay.
Did anybody state, Drew, when the prime time for installation would be? Is weather a problem?
No, weather's not a problem. I think more than anything, it's probably been on us having manpower to get that prepped for them.
I didn't know if they would rather install in the spring.
I'm sure they probably prefer a fall, a September cooler time, but they're from Pinehurst, so they're probably used to the heat.
Do we need to do anything, Drew, in the meantime on those fall zones, or is that just a recommendation?
It's a requirement for insurance, but we just need, actually, we just pile it back up in the fall zone and get the mulch over to where the fall zones are. I think it's 2.5 inches of that assortment that has to be there. The only thing Eddie was concerned about, he really didn't know how he got by with the swings that are over there, that don't have anything off and up into the home area he was concerned about. And this does not, none of these quotes, except I think the turf has the new teeter-totter at the new shelter included in it, a circle around it, but none of these have the upper swing, the new swing sets included, because it's such a dramatic drop. We might have to do something with pea gravel or something in that to qualify for that, because the amount of money we have to build something up and put in there is going to be pretty pricey.
Is there any way, Drew, to get us an aerial view and sketch, or mark exactly
Where it's marked out, yeah.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. Here now, Mr. Short.
Yes, sir. Really, the only other things I have are just some project updates. You've seen the basketball court. It's completed other than striping it and looking at putting a new fence in further down the hill. But I think we've had tons of compliments on it. It looks really good, especially when you get over there. It looks even better. The goals really make it look good. Theater parking lot.
Whoa.
Well, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
When are we gonna strike them? When are we gonna be able to let folks start using it?
They've been using it already.
Already using it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're shooting stuff on it. Shane, I think, is gonna try to plan maybe this week or next week to paint it. He was hoping to get it on last week, but we installed new sod, so we had the sprinklers going and had it
Okay.
the whole time. So whenever we get that sod in there good, it's got good water on it, we don't have to get the court wet.
Gotcha.
Start painting. I think the stencils and paint's already here.
Okay, thank you.
The theater parking lot is pretty well completed down the bottom lay-down area and the wall. We're going to try to get Nathan Brown here this week to get back, since the guys are off the court, off some other stuff. They did some paving and stuff last week, so I'm going to get started back on the sidewalks and terrace this week out there. The shooting range is,
Drew, one question on that parking at the theater.
yes,
Will Clatterbuck be milling out the lines on the top area, parking that's in front of the theater? And will they be marking those handicap, the ones that are remaining for
I guess that's
the
something.
January 1st?
Yeah, I guess that's something we need to decide on, 'cause I don't know
Okay.
the plans on that. I know we had talked about it, but,
Might want to let Nathan
look at.
remind us on what the plan is.
Probably need to talk to Bill too, we need to talk to Bill over at, CD, where we get
Bill
our
Hardy.
grant, Hardy.
Yep.
See if there's only the ARC where that's federal money, there may be specific guidelines as far as the handicap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's key too, because of, one of the other questions we had for it was, like, we plan to put lighting and that sort of stuff on those. Nathan's plans, I don't think had any, but we need to decide if we want lighting going up that sidewalk and that terrace and stuff area to get the wires and conduit buried now before, while we're doing the grade work, the easiest thing, so.
And remember too, we need to give Mr. Stinson a heads up early on, because that's his business there.
Exactly. Yep.
And although, I mean, those are public parking places, but he's got two other spots above. If they do the two closest to the entrance, I think there's still 3 or 4 above there. I'm not sure, Drew.
So I'll get Bill and see the requirements, because I don't think, the bottom parking lot would be, I think it's all steps out of there.
It is. I was just thinking up on what Scott was talking about up on Main Street. We had our progress meeting last Thursday
Yes.
regarding the theater with the ARC, which is basically the finishing, believe it or not, we actually see daylight at the end of the tunnel, which means it could be, now you correct me, last week of May. The last thing we're waiting on are the seats, and they're coming in the first week of May.
First or second week of May, the seats
So-
will be in, and that'll be the last thing that goes in.
With that said, we need, I read before, we need to make sure that we get that side project done, is what I'm trying to get to.
I understand.
You know where I'm
Yeah, we need
getting?
a parking lot for October.
Well, we need it, you know, the pavilion for the folks and the side, I mean, that whole area needs to be complete
Right,
before the opening. You follow me?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I had on here was the, theater progress meeting. We had, front row music guaranteed that we had it open by June 1st was their guarantee. They were expecting mid-May, but as long as anything crazy happens, they say June 1st for sure.
The doors, does Darren have an update on the doors?
You can't,
We're gonna paint them red in the meantime.
well, that whole story about them doors, it's 15 to 7. I don't have enough time to tell you about it.
June 1st or not? Be in by then, possibly?
Possibly.
Okay.
Don't hold me to a yes, because I'm really afraid to say it. I mean, there must be, I don't know where there must be special doors in size. They're supposed to be coming out of the Midwest. And if you remember, they got here in November, okay? They came in November, and the delivery company dropped them on the asphalt and broke them. So they had to rebuild them. But anyway, that's short, that's a long answer.
What about underneath the marquee? Does Darren have a plan for that, or is it just gonna be open?
Right now, so we've got people looking at it. The issue is getting the drainage out there.
Yeah.
That's the,
I think you're gonna have to bring a downspout.
we'll have to have a downspout on the front of that theater.
Side would be the only thing.
Is there any way to at least cover up, you know, some of the
Wiring,
metal and the wiring and that sort of thing?
I think
If
so.
we don't,
possibility, yeah.
I took pictures of the one, went down to, what's that, St. Paul Lyric? What do they call it? So I went down there, and I sent some, I've got some pictures, I just stood under it. And it is covered, but what I didn't do is take pictures of where they ran the water to.
yeah.
But there's gotta be, I mean, you can't just collect, that water's gotta go out there somewhere. So we need, you know, contractors, building people that know this, how to do this, you know? So we've got, also, I've kept, not only Darren, but I've asked Keith as well, about any suggestions they have. Okay?
I think somebody can get in there and just have a little bit of fall to that corner, put a downspout on that side, and take it out of the next property. And even if it doesn't look good cosmetically, then you can come underneath it and make something look nice.
You put soft and a couple of can lights under the bottom of it and make it look nice. That's not a problem.
It's just the aesthetics of running that water, that drain.
Yeah, I remember Mr. Weaver's drawings on it. I don't think there was any great solution to the downspout.
But anyway, we'll work out something, won't we, Drew?
Yeah, it can be fixed for sure.
All right.
The shooting range is almost complete, and ready to pour the path to the building area that's going up there. The only thing left to do, they've actually, I think they qualified up there already on it the way it is, but we need to concrete, there's 3 lanes, so it'll be 3 foot wide. They go across at the different areas that they stop and shoot at, concrete those, and then concrete the area for the shelter and the building to start in. But as far as being usable, they've used it a couple times and used it to qualify, so as soon as we get ready, probably after the theater terrace stuff, they can get up there and start getting on that concrete.
Okay.
Just have it ready.
Hey Drew, speaking of that shooting range and that laydown area, do you mind to get with Billy and Robbie and make sure in the evenings that they send somebody up or one of them go up and make sure that gate's locked?
Yep.
I talked to Mr. Fletcher there 2 weeks ago and asked him if he could get somebody to go lock that for us. And I think it's a reoccurring problem if it's left open on a regular basis. Thank you.
No problem.
We appreciate your help, Jamie.
Sergeant Weaver.
Sergeant.
The second phase of the streetlights are Abe's work, Mayor's work's completed. We've been in touch with AEP. There was a mix-up on the order I made an order, and I think Abe made an order. I got crossed over, so they canceled one order for service to the meter bases. But that order's been put in. I should hear from them this week to get that drop in. The conduit's under the ground, ropes through it. Everything.
All right, turn them on.
Yeah, just meter, all it needs is service from the pole to the meter base.
They're gonna take down the old Cobra
They're
heads.
taking down the old Cobra head.
How many of them?
I was thinking there was 12 to
12 of
14.
them?
Yeah.
That's gonna look good. Finish that project. Thank you, VDOT.
Speaking of, before you go any farther,
Yeah.
before I forget, we were just talking about that parking lot down below the theater. Those same VDOT lights that we put up in downtown would probably look really nice in there. If we tie it all together. We were talking about lighting for that parking
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
It's just an idea.
Something to think about. Just make a note and ask Jim about that. Is he well, you gotta talk to Jim, don't you, on the lights itself, to order, right?
To get our last invoice stuff.
No, I'm talking about if we wanted to add the light
We'll go through,
fixtures down at the,
we could, or I think Hatco's where we got it from. I just go straight through Hatco.
Go straight through?
Fixtures, yeah.
okay. All right.
The Manor water line, we've started working on it. We hit a little snag on it with the health department. They're going to require us to do some hydraulic testing. Since we're going from a 4-inch line to a 6-inch line, we're putting fire hydrants in. They want to do some hydraulic analysis for that. So the land group, I got Chris Mullins working on that. Actually, I called him today. He forgot about it. So he's back on working with that. And hopefully hear from him this week and get a proposal on any kind of engineering work we've got to do to upgrade that line. Back on the theater, just a heads up, it was already been passed and proposed, but when we met the theater proposal, we talked with Debbie Milton, and the Keith's quote was $614,000. That was the bid that he took when we accepted. So the town's responsible for $114,000 of that. So we need to go ahead and make a payment. This next payment that was that Michael Weaver signed off on was $73,212.60. ARC's covered everything up until this point. So instead of us spending the whole $500,000 and then picking up the remaining bill, they'd like to see us get a little bit of skin in the game before we use all the money up. So Like I said, everything had already been approved, and that one basically wants to be alarmed, we spent $73,000 on next.
I'm thinking we budgeted last year for so much of that theater. Do we still have a remaining balance in that? You probably
We
should.
budgeted, we had allotted $250,000.
Yeah. We knew that was gonna be the case with the ARC grant.
So that shouldn't be anything we need to wait. I mean, that's already last, the current year's budget.
The only thing about it is that we need to do is pay for it. The money's kind of the same, the way we talk about it. We've allotted for it out of ARPA, but it's better to use general fund money for that payment instead of another source of federal funds, because then you have to back up into the data banking and all that sort of thing for those federal funds if it's tied into another federal funding
Yeah,
project.
that's no problem.
So your plan is to go ahead and pay the one,
That will leave us with a balance.
14 or whatever it is?
Correct.
Okay.
It'll leave the town responsible, will have $41,000, right at $41,687 responsible for the rest of the
And
theater.
then the $500,000 that goes toward it from ARC.
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then the last thing had on here, we did help the Little League clear their hill off. It looks really good for their ball games out there, and we delivered 4 picnic tables for them to borrow for the season. So,
That was at the Glade.
yes, great. Those are all the updates I had. If there's any questions on anything.
Got a lot going on,
Wrapping
which is
all of it
good.
up.
I'd like to anyway. All right, thank you, Drew. Jamie, are you the chief tonight? Come right on up here. You got a report?
The monthly report for the police department, Mayor, we had a total summonses and written warnings, a total of 43, 17 of which were traffic issued summons. We had 7 written warnings in that. Out of the criminal summonses, we had a total of 43. 38 of those were actual arrests, and we're able to close that many cases. We have still 5 active that are with open cases. So the total arrests, we had 25, 21 of which were misdemeanor arrests, and then 4 for felony arrests. Total of 7 motor vehicle crashes here in the town. 4 of those were reportable crashes to the state, whereas 3 of those were non-reportable to the state. We had 1 DUID arrest for that month. We have a total of 23 assisted motorists in various capacities as far as boosting keys off the vehicle. The officers of the department answered a total of 677 total calls for service for that month. Total mileage looks like around 15,098 miles were driven by the officers. Total fuel use was 960.5 gallons. And coming down to the community policing events, we have met the chief, lieutenant, Sneed, along with myself. We met with different school officials due to the school safety issues that's come up in the recent weeks. We've increased our walkthroughs. The baseball games is over here at the park, as well as at the high school, the multiple games they've had out there, including the baseball, softball, and then we've day shift officers that increased their walkthroughs at the school to assist the sheriff's office with their school resource officers to have more officers visible and present.
Good, good.
So you will walk actually around the park and the.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. We've been conducting those walkthroughs over there, as well as going to the schools and actually.
So you're in the buildings too?
Yes, sir. We actually have the capability of entry without them knowing we're there. Then we'll go report to the office
Right.
and kind of surprise them there that we're there and tell the principal and everything. And we'll get a few minutes walking through, seeing the classrooms and the students and stuff.
So we were talking earlier, can give us or do you know the update of the academy? Like when he's graduating and when she starts, or do we know yet a calendar?
Patrolling Lane will be back towards the end of May.
Okay.
Then he has to fulfill his obligations with his National Guard, so he'll be out another 2 months for that. So his full duty capacity where he can come back is going to look around August, 1st of August, where he's actually out of his duties there with that, and he can be fulfilling his duties here with the police department. Patrolman Hillard, she actually leaves this Wednesday.
Mhm.
That'll be her first day at the academy. So she'll finish her shift today and tomorrow, then she'll start the academy then. And she graduates the end of August. So she'll be back in September to finish out her FTO
So
and be
we'll
finalized.
pretty much have both of them back 1st of August.
Yes, sir. 1st of August, 1st September, both of them will be
Okay,
back.
all right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Fletcher, I have a quick question. And Drew may know the answer to this. I saw that we purchased GPS tracking for the police vehicles. Is that something that all of them will have that in it? But it was just 5, so I didn't know if that was something that Chief tested.
have that in there, Jamie. I think
If I may, to address that, our CAD system that we use in our cruisers, we had several of them that had been damaged, and they wasn't reading the proper GPS coordinates. It's an officer safety issue, so those are little GPSs that go to the CAD system. That way, if we're out working, I can map where another officer's at if he doesn't call in on a call or doesn't respond on their end. That's what those GPSs are for.
Are we good with 5? or do
Yes,
we need to-
that completed.
Okay.
We had actually ordered, when we got the new updated laptops about 2 years ago, we had enough then, and these have just started malfunctioning and tearing up. So these replaced them to where that all officers have them in their cars now. And it also allows the dispatch to track us as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Yes,
Appreciate it, Jim.
yes.
Sergeant Fletcher, just let the PD know, there's a couple of people bragging on them with a situation we had a couple of weeks ago. So it's a current investigation. Just let them know that they did a very professional job.
Well, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Taylor, good to have you back. I hope the surgery did go well.
I'm recovered.
You recovered? Staying in PT?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything at this point, Mr. Mayor.
Closed session? Okay. All right, anything else from council before we go into closed for legal and personnel?
Drew, I just want to verify one thing. First Bank and Trust, did they resolve the fraud issue, or is that
It's
still?
still pending. Beverly sent that in, they said 30 to 60 days, so it's been probably in between that, right now, so that she sent that issue.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I entertain a motion to go into closed session under section 2.2-3711A for the purposes of personnel and legal counsel.
I'll make a motion there.
Second.
Also, I need to add number 5, business and industry. Is that agreeable with everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Stand in session.